Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro, and today we're looking at verses 7 and 8 in Psalm 8. Of course, the Bible Bistro is a place for fresh and delicious Bible study. That's true, but there's so many other things that can be found in the Bible Bistro besides Daily Dose Radio. You can go to our webpage, which is www.my-dailydose.com, and check out all the offerings there. You'll find outlines for other Bible studies. You'll find links to other podcasts and screencasts and just all kinds of things. There's a daily blog. You'll find my poetry there. You'll find books there that I've written. So go to my-dailydose.com, which is the Bible Bistro on the interwebs, and you'll find all kinds of good stuff for your spiritual growth and health. Today we're looking at 7 and 8 in Psalm 8. All flocks and cattle, even the beasts of the field, fowls of the heavens, fish of the sea, all that passes through the paths of the sea. All right, what are we talking about here? Why is all this important? Well, if you go back to verse 6, it says, "You have given him dominion over the works of your hands." Now, we specifically said that this dominion relates to Christ as compared to Philippians 2, 5 through 11. All right, he will be given dominion. God has placed all things under his feet. And of course, if we think about what has happened in the New Testament, think about when Peter went fishing and he told Jesus, "We toiled all night and caught nothing, but yet at your word I will let down my nets." And what happened? Jesus directed a great school of fish into all of Peter's nets that day. Who did that? No, that was the Lord Jesus who did that. Think about when Peter went fishing for the tax money. Remember that? And he put his hook in the water. The Lord Jesus directed a fish that just so happened to have enough money in its mouth for Peter and for him to pay the temple tax. So the Lord provided. How did he do that? He did it by giving the Lord Jesus dominion over all things. You see, we consider dominion over all things meaning just men or just the political structures of the world, but it's more than that. It's all of creation. All right, that's on a specific side. As it relates to the Lord Jesus, as we read Philippians 2, 5 through 11, but there's also the general side. And that is, when we read this word dominion over the works of your hands, we think of Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 28. So here, he's talking about men. Men have been given dominion. And if you go back and look at Genesis 1, 26 through 28, God spells it out very clearly. As a matter of fact, why don't I just do that? Let me turn back real quick to Genesis. Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 28, God gives man his marching orders. And God said, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowls of the air, the cattle, and over all the earth, over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them and said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." So you see, God uses that word dominion twice here in this passage in Genesis. Man is given dominion, and he's given dominion specifically over all of these things, the fowl, the fish, the cattle, and over everything that creeps or moves upon the earth. Here we have the image bearers bearing dominion over all that God has created, and in doing so, using their creative power, their minds, their imaginations to arrange and order all that God has made. And so that's still the case today. Even through the fall, that has not changed. We still have dominion over creation. Why? Because we're image bearers. So how majestic is your name in all the earth? Well, it's majestic. in the earth because the Lord Jesus has dominion over all things. And it's majestic because the image bearers that God has made, men, have dominion over all that God has made. God has given them that charter to be over all those things. And so today we celebrate, and we actually look at this on both sides, both in the specific sense and in the general sense. Dominion has been placed in our hands. How wonderful that is. Tomorrow we'll look at verse 9 and read again the question, and maybe we'll come up with an answer. So join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.